What is up, everybody? Timberverse here today, and we're gonna talk about The Last of Us faction once more because the goalposts are just moving before our eyes on social media. So apparently, Scalebound is trending right now, where it was trending like a few seconds ago if I made the video, but Scalebound was trending because people are putting comparisons between people like Ryan McCaffrey, who made a big deal about Xbox canceling Scalebound. And it had a real harsh tone with Xbox for the game being canceled. But when it comes to PlayStation, media outlets are like, hey, it's not that big of a deal now. Surprisingly so. When it's Xbox, we're going to give them a scathing finger wag because of them canceling games. But with PlayStation, you guys should just seen it coming. So goalposts are definitely being moved right now. But yeah, this is a quote from Ryan McCaffrey in 2017. I will say this: Scalebound's cancellation only puts more pressure on other first-party 2017 Xbox games to both be good and sell well. As expected, Scalebound's cancellation is now official. In my opinion, it's not time for Xbox fans to panic, but it's fair to question the bigger picture. I'll be sad if the Scalebound news turns out to be true. Given Microsoft responses, this does seem like where the smoke there's fire. So, big panic mode about Xbox's future with Scalebound being canceled. But when it comes to PlayStation, it's just the writing has been on the wall. We should have seen this coming. Why are people treating like PlayStation like they can't make, especially Naughty Dog at that? They treat like they can't make both a single player and a multiplayer component. They did it before with the Uncharted games. They did it before with The Last of Us Part 1. But we're giving them a break for this one. And people regard Naughty Dog as one of the best studios ever made in current time, right? Something just ain't adding up. This big studio with this much praise and they can't do a multiplayer component. So you mean to tell me Nintendo can make games with multiplayer and single players with both of them on them? Microsoft can do that too. Third-party games, hell, even Call of Duty, which was once a third party, but now it's a first party now. We had Chris Judd make a joke saying, hey, the single player is super short, but at least they make a single player and a multiplayer component to their games. What is Naughty Dog's excuse? Then we have the Angry Joe saying, I think this is the right move. We didn't need yet another live service game. Taking up all the Naughty Dog time and resources to cash in on a warning fad. No thank you, ultimately the right decision. So having a multiplayer in games is a fad now? Okay. So is that why most of the games that sell extremely well on PlayStation, the highest selling games, are multiplayer focused? Call of Duty, Fortnite, NBA 2K, what's the other multiplayer games? I'm drawing a blank right now, but multiplayer games sell the most on PlayStation. Those are the top 10 selling games that was multiplayer. Oh yeah, Grand Theft Auto Online is a multiplayer game, but you mean to tell me Naughty Dog can't make a multiplayer game? They can't walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. Really? I don't think Angry Joe's a fanboy, but he definitely has some Sony fanboy tendencies with a comment like this defending this nonsense. He's usually the one to rag on these companies and their bad anti-consumer decisions, but I understand how you supporting this nonsense. Like you as the consumer, you're paying more for less. Like they gave you multiplayer last generation, the previous generations, but they can't do it this generation because it's just too hard. We got to give up. But the same people giving Naughty Dog a pass trashed the hell out of Halo Infinite when it had issues with the Forge and co-op mode. They gave Halo Infinite so much hell, but I give it Naughty Dog a pass. That just doesn't make sense to me. Like, you guys are definitely, if you're not Sony fanboys, you're definitely like seem Sony fanboyish, to be honest. And then with this guy's post right here, this guy says, I am so glad that when it came down to the two choices, they made the one majority once from Naughty Dog. Also knowing they are working on more than one single player game is a win. So he's thankful. He's happy that Naughty Dog is only giving him single player, no multiplayer. It just doesn't make any sense. We're happy to get less. The Sony fanboys literally just go whatever Sony says is a good thing. They will literally go with no matter what. It could be something that's detrimental to them. They would say it's a good thing and they're happy for it. This is just bonkers to me. Like, you're paying more for online. You don't have to get online games. Why are you paying more for online then? Why is premium like $40 extra? And I believe the essential is like $20 to $30 extra. Why are you paying more if you're getting less multiplayer games? I guess that's why they feel they can just charge you more, because you guys don't complain about anything. You're not angry about this. You say it's a good thing. It's just fascinating. Like, once again, the media will be going crazy if this was Xbox, but because it's PlayStation, the fanboys and the people in the media, or people, big influencers like Angry Joe, I said it's perfectly fine. Goalpost is just completely being moved now for PlayStation. Just fascinating. Then you have the Red Dragon. Just report on the story like it's just a regular news story. Doesn't give his opinion about anything. It just says, hey, The Last of Us multiplayer game is canceled. We'll focus on single player games going forward. You mean to tell me you got nothing to say about this, huh? Fascinating. There's negative Sony news, a big news at that. We're just not gonna say anything. We're just gonna report like it's a regular news article. Then they have receipts on this guy saying, The Last of Us Factions multiplayer director says the game is still in active development. Another fake news narrative from Team Low Review Scores has been debunked. So he was ragging on these people for actually saying that, hey, this game is probably going to be canceled. But then it's like, now he has to make this ridiculous article right here saying the game is canceled. So you were trashing this one guy before, but he was right and you were wrong. So it is just something else with these guys. This person says PlayStation has no games, while Xbox cheers for upcoming games with a roadmap of 2024 and onward, while PlayStation guys just cheer for sales. Pretty accurate right there. Pretty freaking accurate. The crap just keeps getting worse in 2023. Yikes. Where's the little jab when it always comes to Xbox news? Exactly. There's no extra spice when it comes to when it's a negative Sony article, but when it's Xbox, there's always something negative to talk about it. It's just fascinating how that works out. But then again, I think him and Angry Joe have to be the worst ones I've seen so far. One, because Angry Joe built his whole channel being like pro-consumer, but I just don't understand the stance right here where he just says, hey, we don't care about being pro-consumer. Let's just chill for Naughty Dog. Like, really? You mean to tell me Nintendo can do multiplayer and single player games for their games, and they have the most weakest, low performing games? Well, they have a high reception, but they take the least amount of materials to the amount of resources to make those games. But they can do it, but Naughty Dog can't. With the ridiculous amount of people they got working there. Oh man! And then the fact that Naughty Dog shut off the comment section like some cowards. 343, they stood there and took those negative comments, those scathing comments about their people saying the game was unfinished, saying how dare they not release with co-op and forge mode. 343 at least had the balls to take those comments, those negative comments. Naughty Dog ran like some cowards and turned off the comment section. But yeah, here we go, Angry Joe saying, yay, we're happy we didn't go down there to make a live service or multiplayer component to this game. What a joke. What a freaking joke Angry Joe is with this stance right here. It's just like people were kind of roasting Angry Joe. I was like, rightfully so. 4 years, bro. 4 years just being wasted. Fans' hopes and dreams getting hyped up for 4 years. It just turned out to be a waste. Once again, Skillbound is trending because we saw if you were there back then, you saw the venom that Xbox got for Skillbound being canceled, but pretty much no venom for this being canceled. It's just so telling. And I'll say this has to be one of the worst comments I've seen about this situation. Just acceptance. What is like the 5 stages of grief, and the last one is acceptance. This guy says he's happy. Not only acceptance, but he's happy about it too. He's happy about the decision. Just fascinating. Boy, oh boy. I better see none of these people who making these comments that they're just happy about this. They better not say a word about Halo Infinite. Like, you can't talk crap about Halo Infinite, but then who actually released the multiplayer and single player component, but then you're just saying you're fine with just Naughty Dog just doing single player now. That is just spineless to me. Phil Snake Oil Spencer let them explain and cook that decision was based on economics and not lack of talent. Y'all like to say it's not always about the money. I sure know that if Sony had a little bit more of it, this game would still be in production. Okay. This is Cope Central. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of coping right here. Sounds like damage control. It definitely does. They also sold you half a game at full price twice with a broken promise. Pretty much it's gonna be twice at this point. And they're gonna buy the remaster right up. No multiplayer in sight. This is craziness. All these PlayStation games being canceled You had the Deviation PlayStation collaboration canceled. Knights of the Old Republic pretty much canceled. If they just didn't give the official announcement, that game's pretty much canceled. Now the Last of Us Factions is being canceled. Just great. Fantastic. And the fans are like, yes, thank you, Naughty Dog, for giving us less options. It's like, if you just let this one slide, it was like, why does Sony need to make multiplayer games in general? It was like, they can just charge you more for multiplayer for the PS Plus tier and give you less first-party multiplayer games, and you're happy about it. That is craziness to me. But then again, I am glad I'm not a PS5 only owner. I'll be so pissed off. At least I know I got Microsoft to depend on for having single player and multiplayer components in their games. Can't say the same for Sony though. They only seem to be a one-trick pony. They can't walk and chew bubblegum apparently. This is some actual copium. It definitely is. Naive to think there was only two choices. Yep, goalpost is definitely being moved. Right before our eyes, it's being moved. 5th generation and PlayStation still can't figure out multiplayer games. What is this? Factions getting canceled is a huge L for PlayStation. I don't know how you cut it. When now dry competitive multiplayer games are tight now, they could have really made something great. Keep coping. High off that copium. Translation is that Sony won't let us do anything new. We are forced to keep doing the same thing over and over again. I love that people are just eating this crap up. Yeah, convenient when a project fails, they pretend it's a matter of two choices rather than the choice we made didn't work out, so we flushed it. LOL, you don't have a backbone. People are just being straight to the point, like this dude got a backbone. Literally defend anything Sony does. And that's sad. That is really sad. Like, jeez. You saw what happened when Xbox tried to raise the price of Xbox Live Gold to double. The Xbox community had a huge outrage and backfire against that decision, and they changed it instantly. But Sony, we don't gotta it's too hard making multiplayer. It's too hard, guys. We don't gotta make a multiplayer component, but we're charging you more for online. Give us a break. Let us just do single player and just rehash the same game over and over again. Oh man, I can go on for days. I can go on for hours about this, but I'm gonna conclude it. Like, this is just sad. The Sony fan base has zero spines, and the fact that people with big channels like Angry Joe is just okaying this, but before in the times past he'd be definitely against this, is very ridiculous. But I am gonna conclude it right here. Definitely want to see your thoughts down below about this. Leave a like this video, and as always, thanks for watching, and peace.